Daily Show's special simulcast with the Storehouse Media Group podcast. We're the host, Sherry from Storehouse Media Group. How are you, Sherry? And we're going to talk today, and oh my goodness, about a book as an investment, not look at, as traditional product to sell. It's an investment. Explain.
Well, a book it's a project, okay? That's why people hire ghostwriters or editors. You have a lot of eyes that are going to be on that book. So you hope. So as you approach it, there's a lot of reasons why people write a book. But I would say one of the worst reasons is to make money off the sales. Because I will tell people like, well, am I going to get my money back on my investment? I'm like, well, one, it's going to take time, and two, you may never do it because, it's big. There's a lot of books out there. The reason to write a book is, again, to share your passion in the book, but it's going to open up doors for you that, when you write a book, everybody's going to think you're an expert. Doesn't matter what you write about, you're an expert. And so they're going to come to you as you're going to be the go-to expert. You've already established authority immediately with that book. It's going to open doors to speaking. It's going to open doors for your business. Now that you've got a book, people are going to be like, oh, they know what they're talking about. It's, to get bestseller is going to lift that up, several notches. But a book is an investment, and just like any other tool that you're going to use to increase your business, a book will be one of those. It's the best calling card you can ever invest in.
So let's think about it. So see, I love this because you look at two things. It's an asset that never can be taken away from you. It's a digital asset, and it's also a physical asset. Let's think about just really, talking about the book. You could be fiction or nonfiction, as long as you have something that you can address that go to market. It could be writing coaching. It could be something else, but ultimately your business, whatever your business is, as an author, if you're just focusing on book sales, it's going to be a long hoe. It can happen, but I think it's an investment. There was an interesting thing. One of my clients talked about, he had to spend a lot of money, but to sell a lot of books. And it was a huge investment that he had. And at the end of the day, the book's not selling today. So, it was that burst. So pick something that truly you can do. So I think you're recommending business owners write fiction or nonfiction. It doesn't matter, because then they're going to get on stages, they're going to get on specific places, and then they can lead them to their website and something. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And readers are fickle. They're on to the next new shiny thing. So you want to, when you do a book and you invest in it, make sure that you have ways of keeping it in front of those readers constantly. Don't let them forget about that book, so they can invest in it. And because they are investing in it as a publisher and an editor, you want to make sure that you present your best side. You want to present who you are, because they're going to look at it and say, wow, I invested in a good product. And if once you write a book, and you get media and you get interviews, don't make it all about selling your book. Always make it about what your book can offer. What are the 3 big secrets to, I don't know, losing 12 pounds in 10 days or something like that? Something readers are like, oh, so give them something that they're going to want to buy your book. What's in it for them?
Exactly. What's in it for them? I love that point. And let me give you an example story of me for podcasting and radio. So I was so addicted to radio when I started in podcasting, that I didn't make money for the first 3 to 4 years at all. And I would do it as a passion. I had a tutoring business, so it did lead to tutoring business. And then I decided to create an agency, starting as a solopreneur, just marketing for authors. And that was probably 4 or 5 years later. I forget the timeline, and I have to go back in that timeline. But ultimately, at first, it was my tutoring business, and I was interviewing celebrities. So the first thing they'd said is, hey, he's interviewing a celebrity, it'll be tutoring. But then I found something that would really do it, but I never made money doing this. This is another authority figure. I think radio is more powerful than podcasting for a lot of the people that have money. Say, oh, you're on a radio show? Holy cow. A podcast, anyone can do a podcast. Yet podcasting is another unbelievable tool. A television show, a video, having your own on OTT network, another thing. Every one of those things is something that not the average everyday person does. So if you have
Right.
something that's special, it builds it. And I haven't written a book yet. That will happen at one point, but I'm going to go New York Times. That's all I said. My memoir will be New York Times bestselling, and my story is not finished yet. I'm thinking of just doing a book really simply on just a marketing and just put it as an ebook and test it out with Amazon ads. But that's it. But I won't call myself an author, for God's sakes. It's something I could do in 5 minutes with AI. I could take the book like creating how to book celebrities, give them the information that write that book, it's done. But that's different because a how-to book sometimes doesn't have to be so perfect if you're just writing as an ebook, right? So that's something for another conversation, right? It's not like the published book. It's like you just did it as a lead magnet as something else. But it's such an authority. When you have a book you published, it's a game changer, isn't it? You see
That's
that with
right.
all your clients.
That's right. And you talk about podcasting and whatever it is you're doing, that book will complement that podcast, and that podcast will complement the book. So, whatever tools you can bring them out. In writing a book, think about it until, you do become like James Patterson, you sell tons of books. It's a part-time job. I mean, look at it as a job. It is something and you've got to commit yourself to and the time there. But go into it as a passion. I had heard of this one woman who wrote a book. She never put it out in the marketplace. I think she had like 2,000 copies printed, and she gave them to targeted people who she wanted. And she ended up getting several big paying consulting jobs just from doing that.
Oh,
So,
it's
I mean,
very
those
big
are
in the
another way to
business
do it.
world. It's very big in the coaching world. If you have a book, and if you hire someone, if you hire Sherry, you're not gonna have to worry about being embarrassed if say, oh, I just went to page 10 and I'm like, I can't, this book's terrible. So if you're a consultant, a coach, a podcaster, write a book that will change you. Bestseller. She takes you to bestseller. That's a game changer. I'm a best-selling author. I know some people have that title that you find out if they really were a best-selling author. I'm a best-selling author. I'm a podcaster. I'm a radio host. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a consultant. That will change your game because if people see you as different than their competition, they'll say yes. All right. Right now, go to storehousemediagroup.com right now. Schedule a call, Sherry, today.
That's right.
All right. You're listening to the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show, and it's the Storehouse